Guys, welcome back to another episode of Always Making. We are joined in the basement by another talented artist here from the Salt Lake area. We are going to get into an awesome conversation about everything they're passionate about. Before we do, like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys know any other talented artists in the Salt Lake area, please send them our way. We are getting started in this 2026 year with awesome, talented, great conversations. And we have a list of awesome artists lined up already to get down with this conversation this year. And we are done with housekeeping already because we don't really have anything scheduled out already. So we're going to get right into the conversation. We are joined by Elexis from Twiliart. Did I say that right? Did I get? Okay, awesome, cool. I was like, I'm going to butcher this. I'm going to do so bad. I always do. But I want to get started, and how we always do on the show here. I want to know how it all got started for you and where the whole art drive started for you, and tell us a little bit about everything you do.
Yeah. So I have been making art for like probably 12 years now. I started out by drawing like anime like everyone else does. And I started to really like find my style when I was around 16, and then I got really into realism. I don't do realism as much anymore. But I got really into it for a while, and then I found my own style again. Um, in around like 2020, at the time that I started transitioning, I started finding that I was really passionate about like queer art. And that's like kind of where I've focused my art in on right now. Like for example, like most of my art is like really focused on like queer joy, trans joy, just things like that.
So we came across your pieces about a year and a few months now at Mason's. You were part of Mason's from the Hive, their junior art program or junior artist program, and you were part of the tattoo art gallery, urban art gallery art show there, and you did the stacking Russian dolls with them, and you had a piece there. We have one of your pieces on the wall here. We love it. It's a great piece. It's a little frog and toad mushroom. Or is it it's a frog with mushrooms, or is it a toad?
I think it's a toad.
Is it okay? I was like, I don't want to
I never know the
I
difference.
know what it was.
Sorry.
But we got that piece from you, but you had a bunch of other pieces. We want to talk a little bit about that, but you just wrapped up your second year of doing the same show again at the Urban Art Gallery. Let's talk about last year's experience for you, and then talk about this year's experience for you. How'd that all go for you?
Yeah, so last year it was an incredible experience. I learned so much in the junior program. And I think since then I have genuinely grown so much as an artist. I have like really put myself out there since then, and I've actually been able to make a lot more art sales. And just as well as knowing how to like brand myself and knowing what I stand for as an artist. And that was really like I learned so much from Mason at the Hive when I did the junior program. And yeah, it was just an incredible experience, and I would honestly love to do it again if it was an option. But yeah, I think that was a lot of fun. I believe I made 6 pieces for like 6 paintings for the art show, and then I made the Russian nesting dolls as well. And all of that was pride themed. Every piece was centered on like queer joy, and the Russian nesting dolls that I did, they were all inspired by pride flags. So the biggest one was the trans flag, the second one was the lesbian flag, the third one was the pansexual flag, and the fourth one was the gay flag, and then the fifth one was just like the rainbow flag. And so like I was just really inspired by that, and I really wanted to take inspiration from all the colors in the flags, and just showcase the body positivity and like diversity of queer love.
When you were doing the Russian nesting dolls and how you went about, how difficult was it for you to transition from the flats of like what you're used to with canvases to the rounds of the Russian nesting dolls?
It was surprisingly easy. I did a couple test runs on wood beforehand, and I ended up really loving those pieces. I haven't worked on wood since then, but I would love to do it again. But I adapted surprisingly well. Like it wasn't difficult for me to like work on a 3D surface. I thought that it was actually a lot of fun.
So are like for future like stuff, are you looking forward to like 3D stuff as well, or are you kind of like staying a little bit further away from that 3D stuff and sticking more to traditional canvases?
I'm not opposed to working more with 3D stuff. I think it would be a lot of fun to do, and I love having it in my house and just like displaying it. Like it's one of my favorite little features in my room is the little Russian nesting dolls.
Nice.
I was just gonna ask, so how did you even find out about the junior program? Like, how did you get connected with Mason and his junior program in the first place?
So I had a friend who worked at the Hive. They had since like transferred and like they have moved away, but they were really strongly recommending me that I look into it, and I'm really glad that I did. Um, but yeah, that's kind of like how I got into it. The whole process of getting into it was interesting because I had to do like a recorded interview like on camera, like,
Interesting.
and I ended up getting really political for no reason, but I don't know. It was just kind of like what I was passionate about at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, sometimes you get in front of a camera and like, I don't know. Sometimes I just go like things come out of my mouth. And I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
I like dissociate for a minute, right?
Yeah.
The Hive is a tattoo shop. Are you still interested in becoming a tattoo artist? Is that still on your like radar?
Yeah, I would love to. I would. It's like my dream to be a tattoo artist. Like it's been my dream since I was a kid.
Okay, really?
Yeah, like I've even since like I was little, I was like always drawing on myself and like drawing on other people, like and just making like little designs for tattoos. Like I just always loved the idea of that.
Okay, interesting.
So are you still in the pursuit of
Mhm.
tattoos then? So are you still like apprenticing at places? Are you still looking at towards that direction of like trying to get towards that tattoo art like as a career?
Yeah, ideally that's where I would like to be. Hopefully soon. I have been working on a portfolio still. I have keep saying that I'm working on my portfolio because that's just how it is. But I don't know. I want it to be at a place where I really like it and I'm really comfortable like showing it off. And I feel like I have made a lot of pieces, especially this year, because had done a lot of like commission work that I would love to like include in my portfolio because I feel like it shows like a really diverse like array of subjects. So I don't know. I think that would be like a good way to present my portfolio, but I just haven't like taken the time to put it together yet.
I feel like that's most artists. It's like
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like, I'm working on my portfolio. I'm working on my website.
Yeah, very that.
I noticed through like some sleuthing through your social stuff, you also started doing markets as well and like going down that rabbit hole. What was your first market experience like after kind of getting started in your whole art journey?
So my first market experience was at Mosaics. They don't have a physical location anymore, but they do still have like an organization that's really cool. I'd highly recommend like looking into them if you don't know like what they are, but they're like a local queer organization specifically for Utah County. But the first market that I did, it was like a 21 plus event where there was like erotic art and things of like that nature, just like mature themes. And there was a lot of really cool artists there. I also had someone from the junior program. She actually recommended it to me. It was Alyssa from the junior program. She recommended that I like apply to do the market, and so I ended up like sitting with her, and it was like a really good experience, like a way to like ease myself into the idea of markets.
Have you done more markets since that first one?
Yeah, I've done a couple. I have done another one at the Mosaics, another like 21 event plus event. And then I did one recently, hosted by Utah March, and that was really cool because they also had like drag performances. They had a union panel for Sun Trap, and that was like really informative, and I loved hearing about that. Um, and yeah, it was just really cool because it was like lots of local drag, lots of local musicians performing, and lots of local like businesses as well selling there.
Very cool.
What are you like traditional, like media wise, like have you what is your like choice of like medium, I guess what I'm getting after. Do
Yeah.
you color pencils? Are you oils, acrylics? Like what is your choice that you really love to go to first?
My first choice is always going to be acrylics. I am so diehard for acrylics. I love them so much because I work in a lot of layers in my art. So I need something that dries like really quickly. So that's usually my go-to is acrylics. I also really love colored pencils and digital lately. Like I've been getting really into digital art.
When you started early in your art career, what was like your first thing that you started with? And then
Other than drawing on
yeah,
yourself
like
and other people.
Yeah.
and then have you kind of stuck with that, or have you kind of like transitioned out of that and like have you like kind of grown to a new medium? Has it always been acrylics, I guess?
So I definitely first off started with digital art.
Okay.
Like especially when I first started like selling commissions. I was only doing like digital commissions. And I did start selling acrylic paintings, but they take me a really long time.
Yeah.
So I don't usually like sell commissions for acrylic paintings unless I can charge like a lot for them. Um, but with my little digital commissions, I am comfortable just charging like a little $25, like, like, I don't know, but that's kind of where I started out with it. I also have done like colored pencil commissions as well, and I really enjoy those.
You hit on one of the topics I wanted to jump right into is your overall process for your pieces and what's your like timeline of what actually it takes. I like to get into like topics with the artists that get on here is what it actually takes when you're developing something. Like how long does it take you to get a piece from start to finish when you're like thinking it through what you're going to do, like man, I've got this idea. I really want to get it down on like sketch and then all the way to final form. How long does it actually take you? Are you talking months? Are we talking like hours? Are we talking like weeks? When
Somewhere in
does
between.
when do you consider a piece done? How long does that take?
It really depends on the piece because I can spend a month or 2 months on just like a tiny little painting, and then I can spend a week on a big painting. Like it really just depends on how locked in I am, honestly. Um, like for example, with my one of my pieces that I had at the Urban Arts Gallery for the tattoo show this year, it was a painting of Jinx Monsoon, a drag queen that I really like, and I only spent a week on that one, and it was like a pretty big painting, but it's very intricate. So I'm honestly surprised at the timeline for that one.
When you say a week, are we talking like nonstop hours each day? Or are we talking like a couple hours each day for that week?
It was probably like 5 hours per day.
Per day. Okay.
Yeah,
So we're talking maybe about 30 to 35 hours for the week.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's still a good
that's
chunk
a
of
lot.
time
Yeah.
spent on it kind of thing. But I mean that's a pretty healthy amount of time for a good sized piece.
Yeah.
When you're saying a large piece, what are we talking 16 by 20 in like size, or a little bit smaller, a little bit larger?
I think from what I remember, it was like 24 inches.
Oh, okay.
Big. Yeah.
Okay, so that a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good size. That's a pretty good amount of time.
Yeah, and then you did mention again the Urban Arts Gallery show this year, which just wrapped up
Yeah.
like a week, or I guess now we're in January, so a month ago or so.
Yeah.
But was it just an open theme for that one, or what was your collection like for this year's showing?
Yeah. So for this year, I kind of went with the theme of like what would look good as a tattoo, because like it was like a tattoo show. So that's kind of like the idea that I went for. I Yeah, there wasn't really like a theme too much this year that I was going for. It was more so just things that I was enjoying and some pieces that I already had done. And yeah, things that I think that would look good like as a tattoo.
So how many pieces in total did you end up with for this show?
I had 10 pieces in total for this one.
Wow. Okay, so I know you had some that you said they were already done, but how long do you think it took to like create 10 pieces for this gallery show?
I had been preparing for about a month beforehand.
Okay. That's not bad, honestly. I feel like
Yeah.
it would, I mean, I'm not an artist in that sense, but I feel like it would take me a lot longer.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like I'm terrified about. Like again, like the whole art like imposter syndrome that like I fear and everything is like I've never done gallery like shows. Like I sell art at like markets all the time and people like walk by. That's so cool. That's so awesome. But like putting it in an art gallery, like the confidence to like hang it up is like I admire artists that do that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things I'm like, I don't know. I want to like put it up in places and just see what happens. But I'm also going, I don't know if that's the thing I want to do also.
I believe in you. I think you could absolutely do it.
But on that note, like, is this is your second gallery show for you, or have you done more than this?
So I actually did 3 this year.
Three just this year you've done.
Yeah.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how many? Yeah. So how many art shows have you done then total?
4, including the 3 this year.
Still, I mean.
So was your first one the urban art show with Mason? Was that your first one?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. And then what about the subsequent 2 since you just wrapped up the other one?
So the second one that I did was the queer show, like the queer showcase that they had for Pride Month at Urban Arts Gallery.
Awesome.
And then the third one I had was their best friend show. It was like showing like pets and like animals.
Oh, cute.
It was a really cute show.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe we missed that one. That sounds adorable.
Yeah.
Do they do that one every year? Because I need to go to that.
I'm not entirely sure, but
we'll look it up. We'll
see.
I want to talk about how it felt the first show and how that like days leading up to it, like what was like that kind of feeling leading up, and then that first day when you actually went in there and had everything hanging up in there. Do you remember how you felt like that night after it like all happened?
Yeah, it was an incredible feeling because like it has always been a dream of mine to have my art in a gallery, like ever since I was young. Like as I said, I started making art like so long ago, like when I was like 15. So yeah, it was definitely a dream of mine to have my art in a gallery, and seeing it like hung up was so surreal. Like I was so happy, and I was also really nervous because I was like, is this going to be perceived well? Because like I was really nervous at the time about putting out my nude art, because I'm really passionate about like body positivity and like just showcasing like diversity in bodies, and that was one of the things that I really wanted to showcase with being in the gallery. Because like when I heard that I was going to be in the gallery with the junior program, I immediately was like, okay, I need to showcase like queer joy, because this is what I'm really passionate about, and I think it needs to be seen in the gallery, and not just during Pride Month, you know, like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How did the other shows, like, did you feel those same nerves and those same excitements for the other shows as well?
I think I was most excited about the queer showcase because I was really excited to see like what other artists would be featured in that, and I actually made like quite a few mutuals on Instagram like out of that, because like I just love connecting with queer artists, and like that's really just like one of my biggest passions. Like I was just so happy to see all the different kind of art that was in that showcase. So like that one was definitely my favorite. And I can't really say that I've been nervous about it again. It just feels right, I guess.
So you talk about body positivity and queer joy, and I have to say, well, first of all, I have to say that your smile got like so huge when you were talking about your gallery show. So
Yeah.
like, yay, I love this for you. But also I want to ask like what other inspirations you have, because I noticed like your art feels so like, and I'm not great at describing art, but it feels very like fluid and like soft and like I don't want to say muted colors, but like I feel like you have a very specific color palette. So like where does that come from? Where does your inspiration come from?
I'm very inspired by like earthy tones. I find like a lot of inspiration from that, and there's a lot of like artists that I'm really inspired by, like Gustav Klimt. Like I am very inspired by his work. Um, that's like my main source of inspiration, honestly.
I can see that.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like where I draw inspiration from. I also am just very passionate about like making art for people that I love, and just things that the people that I love enjoy. Um, I love like giving gifts to people in that way.
Yeah. Because I was looking through, like, you know, Jack said we kind of sleuth through people's Instagrams and socials and stuff. And I like it. Your feed had a very, like I said, like very like soft feel. And it just, now that you say that, like you like making things that you love, like you can kind of feel that, I feel like, in your art. Like it just feels very like a hug almost.
Oh, thank you.
I want to go into, Christy talks about where your inspiration comes from. I want to talk a little bit about overall how you go about taking that inspiration and putting it onto actual canvas or paper or any of that, however you make your final product. So when you get into, we talked a little bit about it, 35 hours to get your one piece there. How does that workflow work for you? Do you start with a sketch? Do you just get right onto the canvas? Do you go digital, then go right to paper? How does that workflow work and like kind of work for that process for you?
It depends on the piece. Because for like a bigger piece, I'll typically sketch it digitally and then use a projector to like put it onto the canvas and like trace over it. But if it's just like a smaller painting, I'll usually just freehand it. But yeah, like that's just kind of like my process with that. I don't usually start with like a very intricate sketch. It's usually just like a very loose one so I can build off of it.
Just get the general like shapes down kind of thing and then go from there.
Are you I guess when you're going through your process, again back to your overall stuff, is it I always like to like nail down like every artist's process a little bit, because I'm interested in everyone's little like workflow, because I want to learn from everybody, because it's like if you can see behind the camera all of our different like stuff that we have and all our different things, I'm always trying to steal ideas on how I'm going to like learn from everybody. But when it comes to like, are you like straight to acrylics when you're like painting and on going, or are you like, I guess your projector style? Are you, is there a method to your madness on how you're like kind of approaching it? So, because you said you work in layers with your stuff.
Yeah.
How are you approaching it to kind of like get your stuff to kind of, I'm trying to find words that make sense to explain so I can kind
of the week, guys. Sorry.
pick apart how your kind of workflow goes. But I'm trying to figure out how to get your method so like we can figure out how your style works a little bit better. But if you want to kind of break down your method a little bit on how you approach some of your style and how you utilize your tools, I guess, if there's a way you kind of like explain that a little bit.
Yeah. So I always start with like that basic sketch, like I was saying, and then I start out. I do go right into acrylics, and then I put down like basic, like I blocked out the colors, and then I usually work from light to dark.
Okay.
So
that's the details I'm looking for.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Okay, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a wording I'm trying to figure out. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I usually go from light to dark. I save like the darkest details for last, and like I will typically I will do most of my work in acrylic like paint, and then I'll do like most of the details with Posca markers.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
There, I'm like, I know there's techniques that I'm like missing here. I'm
Yeah.
like, let me try to get it worked out of you a little bit. I'm like, okay. I'm like, there was some of the details I was looking for there for it. When it comes to some of the styles and stuff that you're working with, are there tools and like pieces that you really like can't live without when you're working with? Like the Posca markers or stuff like that. Is there stuff that like you really, really like, hey, I really need to have these pieces to like really do my stuff?
Yeah, definitely the Posca markers. And I actually just barely started using those.
Okay.
Yeah, so like they've become like very important to my work this year.
Yeah.
Um,
Have you seen like a change in your art style because of them?
yeah, I've noticed that it's become a lot more detailed since I've like implemented them. Before I used Posca markers, I just used regular markers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I did a lot of like the detail work with like just markers and pens, because like I find it really difficult to do like details with acrylics.
Yeah.
Yeah, those like tiny brushes. Like I mean, we like watching obviously like art videos and stuff on YouTube, but there's artists who will use like these tiny brushes and do these tiny like paint these tiny details. I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I do little D&D figures, and I have those little tiny brushes, and I like
Yeah.
sit there and like do stuff,
Oh.
and it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I don't know if these little tiny brushes are for me, kind of thing. But I have found like markers, like because the tips are just so like firm, you can really get in there and really get some good little like details in what you do. So, but I haven't used like the Posca paint markers for really doing much.
Yeah.
Anything, but we might have to get another set of markers, Christy.
Yeah. Oh no.
We
Oh
have-
shucks. More art supplies. Twist my arm.
But like, I guess is that like that's a new thing for you this year is the Posca markers. But are there
Yeah.
other like tools out there that like you really kind of can't live without now?
I've been doing a lot of digital art lately,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's been kind of like my main medium because it's what I do most of my commissions in. Like I don't really take commissions in other mediums these days. And like I don't know, it just feels easier to do on like like on my tablet because
Are you an iPad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Procreate.
yeah.
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 Yeah. We talk about it on here all the time. I don't think there's anything better. Procreate and iPad, it is really one of those tools that I want to hate but also love because there really is not a tool out there. We've talked about it, the Wacom tablets and Photoshop and Illustrator. I love them. Photoshop and Illustrator are like something I use daily for my work, but there's nothing like Procreate.
Yeah.
It's it is one of those tools that I can't live without. For it's been a game changer when I discovered it a few years back, and yeah, there's nothing like it out there.
Yeah, I agree. It's so easy to use.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like there's a lot of things that I'm still learning about it too. Like
I learn every day on it.
like yeah, like even though like I feel like I know it, like what I'm doing, like there's still like so much I could learn.
It feels so simple, like
Yeah.
in what its like settings are and everything.
Yeah.
But then you can dive so deep into it and control so much. Like if you really want to get into the weeds of it, it has so much to offer. And then Adobe's Fresca, or I think
Yeah,
that's
Fresca.
Fresca. Like it tries to be
Fresco's a drink.
Fresco. Is it Fresco? There.
Now I'm confused.
Now I'm questioning it. Yeah. their vector wannabe Procreate thing. It's good. It's not Procreate.
Yeah.
Like I dabbled in it, I've played in it, and I keep going back to Procreate. It integrates really well with Illustrator and Photoshop and does things that Procreate doesn't, but it's not Procreate.
Okay, so is there a medium that you have been wanting to try or experiment with?
I have really been wanting to try oils. I'm very intimidated by them. Cause like I've tried them before and just it takes so long to dry. And as I said, I work in a lot of layers. So like it's really difficult for me to do that because like I feel like with oils you kind of have to get it right on the first try. And I would love to try it, but I'm hesitant about it.
Maybe just a little more experimenting.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. All of Bob Ross's stuff is all oil, right?
Yeah.
And like he makes it look so simple.
Yeah.
And like I'm just like
Right.
I always want to try one of his tutorials just because it looks so easy. And I'm like,
There's no way.
it's not gonna
It's
be.
gonna look like a kindergartner did it.
Trying to follow along with them in real time is so hard.
I've watched so many people's videos on YouTube of
I was
people
saying one of our
trying to
favorite
follow
things
along.
is watching people do watch and do a Bob Ross.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's never gonna look like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, oil. There's a pack of oil paint somewhere in here somewhere, and they've not been opened because I'm like, yeah, I just don't think I'm ready for oils yet. Like we primarily use acrylics for most of the stuff we do because it's just that much easier to
really
manage.
is.
Yeah.
Especially with the heat gun and everything.
Yeah.
I say acrylics, and I've been playing with watercolors, which has also been really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no oils. Those also intimidate me.
I can't get the flow of watercolor right. That's always my problem with watercolors.
Watercolors are fun. I do enjoy watercolors.
Yeah.
I don't use them as often as I'd like to, but I do enjoy them.
Yeah, I usually like Christy's like we duo with the watercolor. I'll screen print something and then I go, here, Christy, watercolor this for me. But we talked a lot about your process. I got some of your secrets and everything out of you, so I'm good now. Okay, on that side of things. I want to go a little bit back to the market side of things for you because we like to share with people out there who are getting into the market world and creative world that way. I want to talk a little bit about when you did your first market. Was there anything that like tip wise or stuff that you learned from doing markets that you would like to share with people about maybe them getting into the market world that might have helped you on your first go?
I would definitely say just find as many opportunities as you can and just apply to all of them. Cause like I've gotten a lot of rejections, like, and it's really just important to just put yourself out there. I learn new things every time I do a new market because I learned that you got to have business cards. You got to have things to like, you got to have like a little stand for your little prints to sit on. You got to have packaging for your prints. You got to have like little price tags on everything so people don't have to ask you how much everything is. I also think it's really important to have like a little printout of like your Venmo like QR code so like people can just really easily like access it. Like I don't know, just little things like that, like that you just kind of like pick up. But like that's kind of like what I've learned so far. But as I said, I've only done a few, so like I'm still learning like a lot of things every time.
Are markets something that you want to continue doing?
Yeah, I'm definitely still interested in doing like a lot of market work. I have met a lot of really cool people through doing that, and I would love to like keep making friends that way.
Yeah, I mean that's how we've made so many connections.
Yeah.
Being here.
Yeah, markets are one of the things we really do enjoy because we make connections through the markets, and it's a great way to network, and it's a great way to make them build the community side of things. I want to also talk about future shows for you with the gallery side of things because I don't think that's going to stop for you as well. That seems like something you really do enjoy.
Yeah.
Putting yourself out there for that. Your Pride shows that you did this past year, is that something you're looking to do the same thing for this year as well, and putting yourself into the same like art shows this year as well?
Yeah, I definitely want to be part of the Pride show again.
Are you looking to do new pieces for the ones coming up?
Yeah. Yeah. My goal usually is to have like all new pieces. For this past tattoo show, I did have a lot of pieces that I already did, but I thought it was just because it kind of already fit the theme, and I had done them this year, so like it wasn't like they were pretty old, but yeah, like I do prefer to have like new pieces for shows.
Is there already thoughts and ideas that you're already like thinking for them, or is it because the show's not quite ready yet, you don't know what a theme potentially would be for that show?
Yeah, I'm not too sure yet. Usually when it comes closer to the due date is when I really start like locking in. Like before that, I kind of just think about it passively.
That's understandable.
I say we get it.
Most artists kind of are in the same boat.
Yeah.
Like,
I like to call it marinating. You gotta let it marinate for a while. Just kind of let it stew in your brain pot and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 11th hour production, right? You're like, okay, we got a couple of weeks before that happens. Okay, cool.
Plenty of
We've
time.
got the night before it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
What can we paint in the last night?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Can't even tell you how many markets we've literally prepped for like the night before the
Yeah.
market.
Oh, we've got a week before the market. We got plenty of time to do everything we need. But do you think you're going to increase the amount of shows you try to get yourself into this upcoming year? Because it seemed like you did one show last year, you did 3 shows this year. Potentially, maybe increase again, maybe to like 9 shows this year. Maybe, I don't know.
We'll see. I did just start a new job, so I am like not have had any time for art lately. So like my hope is that I'll still be able to like have time for like making art for those shows, but with the way my job has been going, it's been so hard to make art lately.
Yeah, a job does take up some time, and the creativity like kind of gets drawn like and
Yeah.
like drags a little bit. But once you kind of get a rhythm and a flow of like the job and understanding of like, okay, when can I make the time for it? It kind of gives you a little bit of that pace. But like a couple weeks gets you that comfort zone of like, okay, I've got this rhythm, I've got that pace, and then I kind of know what I can kind of like manage time wise and like gets you back into that rhythm of like, okay, I'm gonna make some time for it, because you need to start finding that creative time again.
Exactly.
Because it like then the job will drag you down, kind of thing. You're like, okay, I need that. It happens every time a new job happens. You're like okay, you got to buckle in for a little bit, and then you're like, okay, I need to get that creative edge back, like, and get some like creative me time back into it, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really hoping to get that creative me time back, because I need it.
Like even taking like a sketchbook and like to work and like just sitting there like in between times and everything will help like take a little bit of that edge off a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
Let's talk a little bit about like future plans for you. We talked about like more shows, more stuff. Like, what are some of the bigger ideas, bigger pictures, bigger hopes, wants, and dreams for some of the ideas you want like down the line for you?
So as I mentioned before, I would really love to get into tattoo art. Like that's kind of like end goal for me. So I really want to like work on building my portfolio, making it like as polished as I can. I would love to make like a, how do you say it, zine or a zine?
Yeah.
Zine?
Yeah.
Yeah, a zine. I would love to make a zine. I think that those are a lot of fun. Like I think that I would love to like put my creative energy into something like that. And yeah, I don't know, just like really just following my passions with it, and just continuing to especially work on my body positivity work, because that's what I find most fulfilling. Especially because a lot of with like my commissions that I do with the body positivity work, a lot of people tell me that they have never seen themselves in a way like that. Like they've never had themselves like romanticized like that. And I just find so much joy from that I would love to continue doing that.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a space for more of your style of art. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but like, I mean, your Instagram feed has such a like vibe to it that I haven't seen a ton, and I think for sure, I hope you get more and more opportunities.
Thank you.
I want to talk a little bit about, because you've mentioned it quite a bit, the commission side of things for you. How do you go about like people finding and talking about, or like, okay, so let's put it in a different sense. When people approach you for a commission, how do you go about like, hey, I want a commission? What is that process for you, and what does that look like? Getting an overall commission from you look like?
Yeah. So I usually get most of my commissions from Facebook,
Okay.
which is surprising.
Yeah,
But
that's not what I was expecting.
yeah. Because like I feel like my art has the most reach there, which is weird. But...
That's also not what I was expecting. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like I get most of my like requests from there. So like kind of the process is I will I usually post like saying that I'm looking for commissions, and then people will message me. I take payment before I start because I have been
Yeah.
ripped off.
Yeah.
So I would prefer to like have that payment before I start. I will arrange like payment plans with some people if they're making like a bigger commission, because how I charge is I do per subject. So I do digital commissions, and I do them per subject. So like if there's like 3 people in the painting, it would be like $75, you know, like no, that's not right. No, that is right. But like, but yeah, that's kind of like where I do that. Like I do, like I get the payment first, and then I usually start it immediately after. I try to have it done within a week. But with my new job, I've been a bit slower.
And then do people send you like photographs that they want? Like,
Yeah. I will always work from like a specific reference that they send me, and I usually give them the option to like send me a few that I can choose from. But sometimes people will be like, I really want this specific photo drawn, so like I'll just do that. But yeah, I usually get like a few photos to choose from.
very cool. I'm amazed. I mean, I feel like you need to charge more, first of all, but like that you can turn around like a commission like that so quickly.
Yeah.
And so and is it when it comes to the commission, are you like sending back and forth like ideas with them? Are you like communicating with the like what they want, what the like overall like idea, or is it like, hey, I just want this like concept, and then you just kind of give them a this is what you get kind of thing from them?
Finished product.
That.
Yeah, it's kind of that. Usually they will give me like an idea of what they want. Like for example, I've been doing like a lot of memorial portraits of like pets lately, and people will like ask for certain elements. Like for example, like someone asked me recently to include white butterflies in the background.
How pretty.
Because they said that that's like how their cat visits them.
Okay.
So like that's I
just got goosebumps. That's so sweet.
yeah. So like that's kind of like I try to make it very collaborative, but also like this is what you get. Like I don't know, like I don't usually send a sketch.
Okay.
I usually just send like a finished product, and if they want any changes to it, I can do that. But I usually, just this is what you get.
That's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine because your price point is at a lower price point than like something that you're reworking a lot. So it's like, this is like it, here you go kind of thing. Yeah, that kind of makes sense for what it is. But yeah, there's a not a lot of back and forth with that at that like price point that you're offering kind of thing. That's commissions are always one of those like interesting back and forth with some people sometimes, and like it's interesting to know how everybody does it differently, so it's interesting to know some people's processes with that. And seems like a pretty simple like setup that you have for most people. Facebook was the interesting part of that. That's a very interesting.
That would surprise me as well, for sure.
I always like to leave people with a little bit of opportunity to share advice that they might have for other people, other makers, other artists out there. But if you had a piece of advice that was given to you at your start point, what would that piece of advice be for someone out there that you would like to share for someone getting started in the maker world or artist world out there?
Don't worry about likes. Don't worry about comments. Use your online platforms as just a place for like a sketchbook, like just like to show like what you do. Like don't worry about like how many likes you're gonna get, if you're gonna get any shares. Like if that happens, that's great, but like don't make that your main focus. Just make making art for you your main focus, and make what you're passionate about, because if you make what you're passionate about, then your audience will come.
Yeah,
I love that. That beautifully said.
Thank you.
Absolutely true. I mean, we've talked about it before too. Like if you're just creating things that you enjoy, the right people will find you. They'll find your work and also enjoy it, and then you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, here you are. You are my people.
Yeah.
That's I couldn't say it better.
Beautifully said.
I want to make sure people can go find more information about what you're doing, more information about like maybe getting a commission from you or any of that stuff. Where is a great platform, social media? Where can they find your handles, any of that stuff, to go find more information from you?
So I have my Instagram. It's Twiliart, TWILI art. And then I also have my Facebook, which is Elexis Twilly.
Awesome.
Okay.
Guys, you've heard it there. If you guys want some cool art, go check them out. If you guys are in the social platforms, go check all that cool stuff out. If you guys are sorry, man, I'm butchering it again. Guys, thanks for joining us on another episode of Always Making. If you guys know other artists in the Salt Lake area or greater Salt Lake area, please send them our way. We'd love to have a great conversation. But this is going to do it for the episode here. Thanks for joining us. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thanks. Bye.